Every year, billions of dollars are stolen using just 5 attacks. Not 50, 5. And almost every breach you ever read about in the news used one of them. In the next 6 minutes, I'll show you all 5. What they are, how they actually work, and why they keep working. I'm Unsalted, I work in cybersecurity. Let's get into it. One thing worth saying upfront: attackers don't pick from some long menu of exotic techniques. The vast majority of real breaches use the same handful of attacks over and over again. So, if you understand the 5 we are covering today, you'll already recognize the pattern behind most of what you read in the news.
Chapter 1: Phishing.
This is the most common attack on the planet, and it's the one almost every breach starts with. Phishing is when an attacker sends you a message, usually email, but increasingly SMS or even WhatsApp, pretending to be someone you trust, like your bank, your boss, the IT team, or the Amazon. The goal is to get you to click a link, open an attachment, or hand over your password. The reason phishing works so well isn't technical sophistication, it's psychology. The message creates urgency. Your account will be locked in 24 hours. Action required. Salary slip attached. You panic. You click. You log into what looks like the real site, and the credentials go straight to the attacker. Phishing is cheap to send, scales to millions of victims at once, and only needs to work on one person inside a company to give the attacker a foothold, which is why it's a favorite opening move for almost every threat actor on earth.
Chapter 2: Ransomware.
If phishing is the door, ransomware is what the attacker brings through it. Ransomware is malicious software that encrypts every file on a victim's system, like documents, databases, backups, everything, and then demands a payment, usually in cryptocurrency, in exchange for the decryption key. While this is happening, the attackers also steal a copy of the data and threaten to leak it publicly if the ransom isn't paid. That's called double extortion, and it's now the standard playbook. The damage isn't limited to a single laptop. Modern ransomware spreads across the entire network. Hospitals get locked out of patient records, factories stop producing, banks can't process transactions, cities lose access to their own systems. We have seen real organizations pay millions to get their data back, and others go out of business because they couldn't. Ransomware is the single biggest reason cybersecurity budgets have exploded in the last few years.
Chapter 3: Credential theft.
This one sounds simple, but it's everywhere. Credential theft is exactly what it sounds like: attackers stealing usernames and passwords. The reason it deserves its own category is because of how those stolen credentials get used. Once an attacker has a valid login for your email, your VPN, your cloud console, your admin panel, they don't need to hack in, they just log in the same way you would. Credentials get stolen in a lot of ways. Phishing, obviously, malware on someone's laptop, quietly logging keystrokes, massive data breaches at other companies where the same password gets reused everywhere, and huge underground markets where stolen logins are bought and sold by the millions. This is why every cybersecurity professional you'll ever meet will tell you the same two things: use a password manager and turn on multi factor authentication on everything. Not because it's trendy advice, but because credential theft is genuinely how most accounts get compromised.
Chapter 4: DDoS.
Short for distributed denial of service. A DDoS attack doesn't try to steal anything, it tries to take a service offline. The attacker floods a website or a server with so much fake traffic coming from thousands or even millions of compromised devices around the world that the service simply can't handle real requests anymore. Your customers can't reach you, your site goes dark. DDoS gets used for a lot of reasons: extortion, pay us or we keep your site down; distraction, keeps the security team busy while a real attack happens elsewhere; activism, protest groups taking down sites they disagree with. Out of 5 attacks in this video, DDoS is the least technically sophisticated, but for any business that depends on being online, like banks, e commerce, gaming, and streaming, it's still one of the most painful.
Chapter 5: Supply chain attacks.
This is the most dangerous one on the list and the one that's grown the fastest in the last few years. A supply chain attack is when the attacker doesn't target you directly. They target someone you already trust and use that trust to reach you. Think of it like this: you would never let a stranger walk into your office, but you would let in the cleaner, the courier, the IT vendor, the software you installed last week. A supply chain attack compromises one of those trusted parties first and then writes their access all the way into your environment. A famous example is SolarWinds. Attackers compromised a single software update from one vendor And through that one update, they reached thousands of organizations, including major US government agencies. Every company that installed the update installed the backdoor along with it. Supply chain attacks are dangerous because they bypass the assumption that anything I trust is safe. Modern businesses run on dozens, sometimes hundreds, of third party services. Every one of those is a potential path in. Those are the 5 attacks every beginner should know: phishing, ransomware, credential theft, ddos, and supply chain. If this helped, subscribe. This channel is for people figuring out cybersecurity from scratch, especially the blue team and SOC career path that most YouTubers ignore. See you in the next one.